with week 2 of the SBSU Winter Seasonal. And I believe there's a lot less games than last week, so this shouldn't be nearly as long, which will be nice. And first set we got here is going to be Slade versus Amaske. And from Slade we have more balanced team. We have an Alolan Dugtrio and a Torkoal, which are a few mons you don't see all the time. Honchkrow is a bit more uncommon as well. Presumably Torkoal's going to be the rocker and the spinner. Good roll compression there. And Dugtrio is probably going to be SD if Torkoal's doing rocks, but hopefully we see one of those mons do something. We have a Webs team coming out from Amaske. We have a Golduck and a Meowstic, presumably. Nasty plot to set up and take advantage of the webs with their slower speed tiers. Meowstic's pretty fast actually, but also got Hitmonchan, Ursaring, pretty common ones to see on HO with webs. So see what happens. Come on. I see Torkoal lead down to Lovanny, and they just get their hazards up. Torkoal's gonna not get the spin off on Drifblim here. It's a physical Drifblim. Goes for Phantom Force. Free switch on a Honchkrow on that Ghost move there. Still takes a good chunk, but just not as much as you want. You see Colbur Berry letting it live this lash out here and burn this Honchkrow, which is not ideal, not what we want to see. Aftermath takes it down under half. Do get Moxie boost, but with a burn, it's not really going to be doing much. Hitmonchan comes out, no flying move from Slade here. So it's going to double out into the Golduck though. It's going to get a free Hydro Pump off, take out the Honchkrow. Samurot's going to come in for the water resist, see if it's going to attack or just go for a flip turn. Goes for a Swords Dance, probably going to get forced by your Max Lovanny. Goes in Torkoal. There's no Ghost anymore, so Torkoal should be free to spin here. Lovanny's special Lovanny goes for -2 Bug Buzz on Torkoal, not doing anything really. See Terra Pop, Terra Ghost to block the spin here. So he really does want these webs up here for Golduck. And no, honestly, Golduck does look really scary with carrying Ice Beam here, which I'm assuming it has to. Samurott comes back in, just pivoting out a lot right here, letting this Life Orb kind of chip away at Golduck here. Samurott stays in, just goes for liquidation, takes it out on half. Golduck is rather frail, isn't it? You see Ursaring come out, gets a Trailblaze off, which with these webs is going to be kind of scary. I don't know how much it's going to be about speed if it's Dugtrio. See Albaton come out, Facade chunks it, nearly taking it out, but not quite. Ursaring does live this Draco, so it's still going to have to answer this Ursaring here. Probably going to see Dugtrio come out, hopefully he's carrying the Sucker Punch. You see Dugtrio come out. Does have Sucker Punch just to get this Ursaring. You see Hitmonchan come out, I'm going to go for an SD or a spin here, or bulk up rather. I don't know if Hitmonchan's going to do more bulk up. Goes for a Drain Punch, doesn't get the KO. Slade finally gets these webs off for Arbok and Dugtrio to actually outspeed some things here. Arbok comes out, goes for Coil on the Hitmonchan. Goes for a knockoff, does over half of it. It does not kill. Arbok also barely misses out on the kill, leaving it at 10%. Shouldn't be a big deal. Arbok does outspeed, doesn't get taken out by Mach Punch. And gets a Trailblaze boost. Gonna be able to get one less hit on this Meowstic and not just kill it. It does take out the Meowstic here. Only have Lovanny left, and yeah, just Nerf's gonna take it out. First, gonna go to Slade here. Amaske, he kept his webs up really well, but he just wasn't able to really set up and do anything with anyone. Like, he got a really good hit off with Ursaring there, but like we didn't see a Plonk come out, we didn't see Calm Mind come out. We saw a Bulk Up from Hitmonchan, but that's about it. Nothing really got to break any major holes or get going really. Just constantly being pressured by Slade here. It's gonna be game 1. Alright, game 2, we see the same team coming out from Amaske, just replacing the Drifblim with a Rotom, which I think is probably a better decision. If you're going webs, you probably don't want Defog in general. if you're going, or no, you have Hitmonchan as removal, so not sure what Drifloon was providing there. Rotom couldn't, so Rotom's probably just the better pick. And Slade bringing what seems to be basically semi-stall here. For 5 Pokemon, or 4 Pokemons, you got Ditto to make sure you don't just lose to any HO, and actual speed with Raichu. So could be a rough matchup for Slade here, but let's see how it goes. Okay, first turn, same thing, Ledge comes up, Spikes come up, that's all out here. Does activate this Ursaring's Guts for it, which you'd rather have it be poison, but Crunch barely misses out on Drifloom's KO here. It's going to be able to heal all the way back up, not all the way, but basically all the way back up with Strength Sap here. And -1 attack, not sure if the Ursaring's going to be able to do anything anymore. Pivots out into Rotom, gets a little bit more health back, but it's going to be forced down to Arboliva, which should wall Rotom forever. Rotom's not going to be Scarf here, it's going to go for a Wisp, which not going to be doing much for Mosca here in this Arboliva. Vanny does come out. We know it's a special Vanny, so it's not going to be doing as much even with Bug Buzz, but Slade's going to switch out either way. And Bug Buzz isn't doing much here. Berserker is going to get a free turn here, which is definitely not what you want to be letting the Berserker just swing for free. It could do a lot of damage. Just get some rocks up and pivots out. Golduck gets the Nasty Plot up here, and there's not a real good switch into Golduck from Slade here. Just gonna have to wait this out with Life Orb, Ticking, and Toxic. Goes for Ice Beam. Roll does have Protect just to get a bit more chip on it. Pivots out into Berserker, just gets OHKO'd by a Hydro Pump. At +2, this Golduck does look really scary, but another Protect's just gonna take it out, really. Opts to save the Golduck, goes back into Lavandy, taking a lot from these rocks here. And these hazards are getting real scary real fast for Amosuke. He's not being able to make much progress and just getting whittled down by everything. Opts to stay in and go for Leaf Storm from Lavandy, just letting it go down. See a Body Press, try and catch maybe Ursaring switch. Lets Lavandy go down, Ursaring does come out, takes out Swallow with a Facade. It's just, Ursaring is just so powerful, it's insane. Drifloon comes out, uses Strength Sap to make sure it doesn't die in its Crunch. Yeah, Crunch is doing a little over half, but it's never going to be killing this Drifloon here. Air Slash comes out and just Rotom. A little bit of chip damage was nice, but nothing major. And Arboliva was just going to be able to come in on this Rotom every time and keep on walling it. Do have the terrain and leftovers healing this Arboliva up as well. Finally gets rid of this Ursaring, which could have been really scary. Only other threat I see is maybe Golduck could get a few more. But I know Raichu's going to be able to take care of Hitmonchan pretty much every time. Unless it gets some insane speed boost. Hitmonchan does bulk up on the Protect here. Opts to go for Knockoff, trying to catch the Raichu switch. Arboliva is also Strength Sap, so even the Hitmonchan can't even really set up on it with bulk up. Does go for another bulk up here. Drifloon might be Hex, so might just do a good chunk of damage right here. But it's a little slower, so yeah. Gonna get some Aftermath chip and that Toxic chip's really gonna help out here. It's looking rather low. Raichu comes out, is not heavy duty boot, so it's gonna be forced out or else die to a knockoff. But good pivots around here from Slade. Going to Arboliva and everything else here, make sure it's not just getting rolled. Another Protect comes out, and Toxic's just going to take out Hitmonchan here. And I think that was really well played from Slade, just pivoting around everything, because I could have gone out of hand. Golduck does come out. It's not going to be able to do much here without Nasty Plot. So, Ditto, you do see a Ditto come out. Ice Beam and a Ditto, not going to do much. And yeah, I'm just going to exchange swings here. Yosik also comes out. Just gonna stay in, Ice Beam, get your damage off. Not gonna be able to do much. Yosic's basically gonna be dead here after another Ice Beam and Toxic hit. Opts to save Ditto. And Raichu takes a little over half from Psychic Gears, gonna go down. But Toxic's gonna take out Miastic next turn, so just one more Protect Them All of us should be doing the job here. Yeah, Slide comes out, Miastic goes down. And then, I mean, Realm's not gonna be able to do anything against Arboliva, so it's gonna be this game 2 for Slide. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. Really well played from Slide here. Toxic Spikes just, there was no answer for it. Well, this team was just getting tickled away. That's definitely not ideal, but here's our first set. I'm going to Slade. Alright, set 2, we got Spy Up versus Pro Z. And I believe these are both sample teams. We have an HO team coming out from Pro Z. It's going to just lead Rocks, Lycanroc, and just mass setup after that. And Spy Up here has a semi-stall team, real fat mons here. Another Toxic Spike, Swalot coming out here. And HO just naturally does well in a stall. So, it's going to be kind of a rough game here for Spy Up, but we'll see if we can take it. C2 leads come out. Lycanroc instantly going for the SD instead of getting a Trance up. 2 SDs out. Instantly looking really scary. We don't see a Terra come out. Goes for Rossi C. And doesn't kill Sandaconda, but is Focus Hash. Goes for Stone Edge. I don't think Stone Edge is going to kill either way, but it does miss. And that's going to be Lycanroc going down, which I think it could have taken the game right there. It's rather unfortunate. Raichu comes out, instant Terra to avoid the kill from Earthquake, but basically dies anyway. It's not going to live another turn. Draining Kiss comes out with the Swalot. Heals back up enough to not die to poison, but it's not going to be too much from here. It does take the Swalot down with Side Shock, but no more Raichu here. Already down 2 mons on Pro Z's side. Hitmonchan comes out, takes half from Hex, and it's gonna die since his Drifloon is faster here. It's not gonna be able to accomplish anything. Hitmonchan goes down. The Houndoom comes out. It's gonna go for a nasty play. Yeah, he's just gonna be sitting up here hoping to get something done. And flinch, but unless we got like 5 more flinches, I don't think Houndoom's gonna be breaking through his Poliwrath. Another flinch. I mean, we might get 5 flinches, who knows. Yeah, another flinch. I mean, it would be very funny. Goes for Fire Blast. Barely does get a kill. Gets the burn, though. So Houndoom does live this Circle Throw, which is extremely lucky. It's insane. Samurott does get dragged out here. Mega Horn's going to take it out despite the resist, just solo, but... yeah, Poison Samurott. I'll have to go for a Swords Dance for this Ursaring, and Ursaring bulks up, so might live 1 attack was going to get real hurt. Yeah, even a crit's not going to take it out. Crit and a defense drop is rough, but nothing crazy. Samurott's going to be able to take out Ursaring here, but Samurott's also going to go down. And it's all up to Lilligant with Houndoom being at 8% poison. Lilligant does get taken. Does get taken care of by this Cryogonal. Almost gets O-code. And with this poison, unless Lilligant has something insane, Giga Drains, but it's not going to live another Freeze Dry here. Opts to go for the Haze, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be able to kill it. And yeah, Freeze Dry comes out. Will's going to go down. Houndoom's still here, but 8% just takes taken out. First game goes to Spy Up here. And I think Pro Z had it within like the first few seconds, I'm not going to lie. Had a +4 up. And if it, I don't know if it is Terra fighting. I can check the sample really quick, but I don't know if it is Terra fighting. If it is, it could just pop Terra, killed Sandaconda in 1, and then nothing else outspeeds Lycanroc here. Would just taken the entire game. Especially since it is. Did we see Play Rough? Couldn't play Rough out. I don't think anything was living, but definitely an unfortunate game for Pro Z here. Alright, game 2 we have Spy Up, bringing the same team here. And Pro Z, at least another sample team. Top 6 mods on the VR, Voltsurn team, everything here can pivot besides Lycanroc and Hitmonchan. But not as good of a matchup for Pro Z here into stall, so we'll see how he plays now. You see Rotom come out, first turn, goes for the trick, does not affect Swallow because of Sticky Hold, as Freeze T-Spats are going to go up. Gets 2 layers up, which is not ideal. First 2 turns, that's really good for Spy Out. Just going to exchange some rocks here. And Hitmonchan is going to be able to also let Hitmonchan get the free spin off. Going to get a good chunk off of Earthquake here, though, yeah. It's going to get the 2-hit KO if he stays in. And which he does stay in. He's going to lose a Hitmonchan if he... Yeah, he's going to lose Hitmonchan here. It's going to be a free EQ. No more removal here, so if he gets those Toxic Spikes back up, it could... Toxic Spikes aren't a big deal here, actually, and I lied. But it does go to Swallow on Rotom. It's going to put these spikes up, but like I said, it's really only going to affect Lycanroc here, but I don't think it's going to be the biggest deal. Rotom's gives a free switch into Ursaring, and Ursaring bulks up, which is going to be nice. Foul Play does a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. And I believe this is a mono play rough set? Yeah, mono attacking play rough, so Berserker is going to be the ideal person to come in here. No Eviolite means Foul Play is doing a hell of a lot of damage now. Another bulk up. Yeah, unless he pulls play rough right here. He does, but it misses, so that's real unfortunate. Opts to save him, goes for the Poliwrath. Does get a free knockoff though, but it's not the biggest deal for Poliwrath here. Eel comes out, takes some damage from Circle Throw, and it's going to be another free attack here. Hopefully he goes for Liquidation. No, goes for another Circle Throw on the Rotom. Shadow Ball does come out again, gets knocked off but doesn't die, which is insane for how frail Rotom is really. And also let Poliwrath go down here, which is not great. That was kind of your real defensive mon you needed. A lot of good physical threats here. But Electros gonna drag out. Twala gonna fish for some paras here. Does get the discharge para. And Electros isn't gonna be able to stay up any longer though. Toxic's really not gonna be ideal for it. Berserk comes out on Graveler, gonna get a free attack here. Ironhead does very little to Sandaconda, honestly, but like Sandaconda's rapidly getting wear down. It's gonna have to go for a rest here soon or just be taken out. Swallow's gonna come back out on Rotom. Barely lives, hopefully gets something off. Doesn't have any knockoffs, so Toxic's gonna be best to hit it. Rotom's on a timer here. Goes for Shatter Ball into Ursaring. Is gonna be a dead Rotom. Maybe Ursaring can do something now, but nope. Prisoner's gonna come out. U-turn on it. Get rid of it. Berserker's gonna have a bit of a field day here, honestly. Sandaconda does get a rest off. Crit on Sandaconda is gonna do a third, but it's not enough to really make any progress here. Big Boy Lycanroc's coming out. It's gonna go. I think this is banded too from the sample. Juicy Terra Fairy Pop crits onto Sandaconda. I don't know if that killed otherwise, but it's looking real rough for Spy Up here all of a sudden if he doesn't play this well. Stays in on Lycanroc. Doesn't get the kill with Play Rough. It's going to have to come back out in Stone Edge probably. Stone Edge is kind of a free click here now. I think Stone Edge genuinely might just win the game. You see Electro come out on Drifblim, but 2 hexes takes it out just fine. The Persian comes out, taunts this Drifblim. Is going to have to go for raw hexes after it's Terra. Gets knocked off on this Rocky Helmet here, but it's forced to switch out because Ironhead is going to be doing way too much for him. And after it's Terra Fairy, I don't think Lycanroc's going to be able to get the kill with Stone Edge anymore. But this Persian taunting it over and over again could be an issue. I think it's winnable for either one here, honestly. Drifblim does come back out on Berserker. It's always threatening that Will-O-Wisp, always threatening a Strength Sap. If Berserker gets Willowed here, it's over. It's not gonna happen. It has to be taunted for Berserker to get a good hit in. Berserker is gonna get that Iron Head off, but doesn't kill, and is just gonna heal back to full You're close to it. Strength Sap's a dumb move. I hate it. I really do. Persians can go for another taunt, or let's go for the U-turn. So, obstacle for Lycanroc this time. Stone Edge does thankfully land, so no more pivoting. Once the taunt's on, it's gonna stick. Misses Stone Edge. That's really unfortunate. It's gonna heal all the way back up to full. I think Berserker did need that little bit of chip to help get it, but it's just gonna keep missing, and that's gonna be dead Lycanroc. Unfortunate. Persian does come out, taunts it, but I don't know if it's going to be able to do anything with it being full. Knockoff comes out, does a little bit of damage. Yeah, and Hex is going to 2-hit KO it. There's nothing that can be done anymore. Persian's not going to be able to kill this Drifloon. Taunt gets shaken off, heals back up to full. Could just kill with Hex anytime, yeah, kills with Hex. And Persian's not going to be able to do anything. Foul Play's doing nothing, U-turn's doing nothing. Yeah, it's going to be a very narrowly won game for Spyop here. Was looking kind of scary with just Drifloon on the field. But I would pros ZM1 if those Stone Edge hits. I don't think so, in all honesty. I think Drifloon's going to live that and get strength step back up, but just Drifloon a lot of heavy lifting here with strength step. This Rotom pretty much, or this Rotom and your Electron, was kind of the only answers to it, since it could just outspeed everything and live everything and being an annoying asshole. But yeah, as soon as Rotom went down, there's really no good way to threaten this Drifloon to keep doing it, or to threaten this Drifloon out. And you can just keep doing it. And I think Strength Step has like 16 PP or something insane. Yeah, it does. So there's no hope of PP stalling that at all. And then the set's going to go to Spyop here. Set of the day, we have Incognition versus Portraits or Ruin. I was going to call them Portraits because I'm not going to read that out every time. But Incognition here is going to have looks like a balanced team with hopefully some spikes on it. Which has support. It's a pretty fast team. Rotom and Pyro are gonna be good. Speed control here could have some priority on Hitmonchan. With Hitmonchan and Cryogonal here, you do have the opportunity to go like a fully offensive Hitmonchan without running Rapid Spin. So maybe we'll get to see something like that. And from Portrait side, we have a Sticky Webs team with some lesser seen Mons, but not bad. Dodrio, I think, is worse than Tauros, but still good in its own right. It can SD up. So with a Sticky Web, it's really not going to be outsped by anything. Ampharos here, I believe also can be scary. Like max speed is going to be outspeeding some good things after Sticky Web drop. And it has a pretty massive attack stat, 125 I think off the top of my head. So yeah, I think this could be a good game. Do see just hazards go up yet again on turn 1. Webs come up. Ariados takes the Stone Edge really well. Gets a knockoff on this Wishcash's leftovers. Doesn't live 2 though. That's what roll. Instant Hitmonchan come out. See if it's going to get this spin off. Obstacle for bulk up right away. Rum uses tricks, giving this Hitmonchan a speed boost, but that could be kind of scary here. So Hitmonchan's going to have to come out to not die to everything else. Ampharos does get pivoted out. Goes for an SD, so it must not be Rapid Spin. And it does outspeed Ampharos even after a drop, so it must not be fully invested in speed there. Unfortunate. Mach Punch as well takes out this Dodrio in one go, despite the neutrality. D finally comes out, and Terra Dark comes out, blocks the Psychic. And yeah, Hitmonchan is just going to run through. I don't think it could do anything, honestly. Alright, this opposing Hitmonchan is actually going to be able to force it out here. Do you see the... Oh, it's because we got Trift earlier, I'm stupid. But Hitmonchan is going to get a few good hits off. Executor is not going to go down in 2, so he's going to get a free hit off here. Draco barely misses out on the kill from Magmortar. don't know what Sensei Mortar is. Also gonna not be able to kill though. Knockoffs from taken out is AV, so that explains why I lived. But unless a miracle happens here, I don't think Hitmonchan's gonna be able to kill anything. Honestly, well, this is Scarfed, and he doesn't have a good fighting resist after a Terra. Yeah, takes out Pyro on one hit. Wishcast comes out. Terra Stellar, ooh, that's fun. Drain Punch, I mean, Wishcast isn't gonna be able to kill it. Oh my god, we're gonna see a reverse sweep from Hitmonchan here. Oh, it's gonna be, yeah. Cryogonal's not gonna kill it, or outspeed it. Incognition's Hitmonchan is Dark type. So he's gonna take it by his Mach Punch. Let's get something crazy happens here. Yeah, he's gonna take it out. That's really unfortunate. Tricking that Scarf on the Hitmonchan just lost him the game, really. That's so sad. Terra Stellar's nice, did get the boost, but, I mean, didn't do anything else. But yeah, I mean, it was looking like a real strong position from Incognition. His Hitmonchan absolutely mowing through, but as soon as he popped Terra, I mean, there's nothing that really could have been done. Maybe he had to Mach Punch his Mach Punch this Portraits. That's Portraits Hitmonchan, but I mean that's just real unfortunate. So game one is going to go to Portraits or Ruin. Alright, in game two here, we see a more balanced team. This honestly could be Trick Room coming out from Incognition. We have a lot of slow Mons here with the exception of Alolan Persian and Swanna, but this could be a setup. You know, most of them are AV, but Trick Room could be coming out from Executor here, pivoting to another Crab Abominable, which looks insanely threatening into Portrait's team here. And Portrait has a Noctowl, which is fun. And a Darkspawn. I don't think we've seen a Darkspawn yet, but Fairy typing isn't doing too much here. I mean, it can switch into Draco Meteors, I guess, but it's so weak on the special side, it's not going to do anything to Executor. I wouldn't rely on it. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Hopefully see a Trick Room. Swanna lead and a Pylo. This is a special Swanna. It's going to do a little over half. Rockton comes out. I think Swanna's still going to be faster. Yeah, I'll just take its damage. And it might be too slow to kill now. But he does get his rocks up and cripples the Swanna a lot. So I'd say it's a good trade. Sandaconda is going to come out. Persian's going to stop these rocks from going up. Ooh, it's nasty plot. Okay, that's not something you see a lot. Stone Edge isn't going to be doing nearly enough to not be threatened out here. Goes for another Espeon at +4 right here, even though Persian's special attack isn't too great at +4, I mean, it's still going to be rather hard. Discharge comes out, doesn't get the para, so, I mean, Persian gets a flinch here, and it could get really scary. Barely lives that U-turn, so, this could break a hole here, depending on the speed tie. Outplay doesn't take it out either. Thunderbolt comes out, instantly takes out the Persian, and it's looking real rough here already. This Persian's barely living everything. Takes out Sandaconda at +4. And Crab Abominable might get taken out by a Thunderbolt. Nah, barely misses out, but you can go for a Drain Punch, but the damage has been done. This Persian broke a real major hole in the Incognition's team here. Ooh, Dodgebun goes for Play Rough. That's a lot of damage. Could be an offensive Dodgebun. This is the next Play Rough, so unfortunate. Swanna might not be carrying Roost here. Yeah, this goes for damage. Not barely misses out the KO. Unfortunate. Tech comes out. And yeah, another Hurricane lands. Can take out Dodgebun. And from looks of it now, Arbok from Portrait here could be very scary. Executor comes out, does see the Assault Vest. Ooh, it's Calm Mind. Okay, you don't see that a lot either. Terrestrial Calm Mind's gonna block the Acid Spray. And he's carrying Flamethrower, so it's still gonna be doing a lot of damage here. And barely lives, could go for Giga Drain and heal itself back up. This Synthesis So it makes you wonder, it could be Mono Dragon, I assume. But it's gonna keep flamethrowering, try to get this Synthesis PP all stalled out. And do under a quarter, or over a quarter, sorry. And the flamethrower comes out. Does pivot out an Arbok here. Is forced down by a Terra Ground Earthquake. And after that, I'm not sure Incognition can win anymore. I think Executor is always going to lose to this Arbok. She's going to be EQing or whatever we have here. Flamethrower back to doing a lot. Does opt to actually kill the Electros now, but not much can be done. I mean, Noctowl is going to outspeed and kill this Electros even if he is faster, but is not faster as it goes down, so unfortunate. I mean, it was kind of over as soon as this Persian got his nasty plots up. It took out the two bulky mons on the team, physically bulky mons. Like that just didn't go too well. Incognition opting to greed for a pivot instead of just killing with Electros, costing the game there. I think what else happened? Oh yeah, he clicked foul play with Persian into Portrait's Persian. I think just a few misplays here from Incognition got him the loss, which is unfortunate. You hate to see it, but set is going to go to Portraits or Ruin. Alright, third set, I think it's third set. We have the Annie versus Bones, third body, I'm calling them Bones. And we see this reverse Trick Room team, or reverse Webs team, come out for like the fourth time this tournament already. You know what it does. And we see, did we see his team before? I don't know, I don't think so. I don't think we watched the Bones game. I'm be real, this team does not look great. Dunsparce gets threatened out by so many fighters. Luckily there is not, actually no, there is Falinks. But there's so many good fighters in this tier, and Dunsparce is just not it. Chimecho, also, its stats are just too bad. And I'm not sure, I mean, how Bones is going to make progress, really. Unless it's something like a Coil Dunsparce and like a Nasty Plot Raichu, but yeah, I guess we'll see. It could be like a weakness policy, like Stored Power, Iron Defense, baloney from Chimecho here, which would be really fun to see. Burning Bulwark, turn 1, does catch his Girder, which they usually run Iron Fist, so this might actually be not great. Nope, it's running Guts. I don't think that would have killed otherwise. And Mach Punch comes out, only gets the webs up on his side, which no Court Chains are going to be able to come out here. Terra Ghost Dusknoir for the Poltergeist does a good chunk, but not too much. Gives Dunsparce a free switch. We're going to see if this is Coil or just a rock set. It is Coil. So yeah, it's going to be his progress maker here. Lurantis does go for superpower. Does a good chunk even if it's not stabbing. Has a +1 difference. But he's going to keep doing it, and unless he gets some good lucky flinches here, it's not going to go down yet. And Dunsparce is looking real rough already with the +3, now +4. Gets the crit, almost takes out Swalot to half. Yeah, good chunk taking out Swalot here. Not ideal for Bones here. Knockoff does a little bit, but not much. Does get rid of this Iron Ball, so but Gothitell's still going to be able to get just swing after swing in here. Does pivot on Chimecho, reads it with a Dark Pulse on the switch, which is very nice. Does do over half. Pops Terra. Is Terra Electric? I don't know why it's Terra Electric, to be honest. Is Cosmic Power, so it just gets rid of all of its weaknesses and tries to boost up its beyond belief here. Goes for Alluring Voice, doesn't get Confusion out, but Confusion is not going to be doing much unless something terribly happens. Cosmic Power, Charge Beam to still make sure you're not wasting a whole moveset to boosting your attack. So let's see if this Chimecho can take it. Chimecho's getting real far up there, +4 in its defenses. Star Power's doing over half to Wigglytuff here. It could be very scary here unless an unlucky crit happens. Charge Beam comes out, does get the attack raise. Wigglytuff's is just praying for a crit. Store Power here to kill Wigglytuff, and it's looking rough. Another Charge Beam comes out, gets the +2. Trick Room's not gonna be doing anything, barring a crit and like a flinch. Yeah, it's really not happening. This floor comes out, goes for the Poltergeist, does 20%, which is actually a fair bit, but it's not gonna be winning here. And looks like Bones is gonna get this game here. Yeah, Trick Room biting Annie in the foot here. And yeah, Chimecho did something, folks. Have you seen it? If anyone was gonna make it work, it was gonna be Bones. Cosmic Power, real silly move. I do like the Charge Beam. I really like Charge Beam. I think that's really fun. Recover, just letting Bones did a good job at not letting Annie get her webs up here. And because if webs were up on their side, there wouldn't have been any time for Chimecho to get his boost up. So I think it was pretty solidly played by Bones, actually. A shame Dunsparce didn't get to do anything, but you know, it happens. But cool Chimecho set. I do like it. All right, game 2 from the Annie. We have a Snow team. I don't see Abomasnow being Veil here. I don't think anything takes real good advantage of it. Samurott might be SD, but Babosif I don't think has any setup. Dipplin has some setup, but it's so bulky you don't really need Veil for that. And I guess Haunter could be Nasty Plot. That could be really fun to see. If Bones here we have could be Trick Room. Could be Trick Room. We have 3 Slowmons, or 4 Slowmons actually. Could be Trick Room. But we have a lot more of a standard team here. Reboot, this bit of a eyebrow raiser, but you know, we got Mr. Shitmon himself. If anyone's gonna make it work, it's gonna be Bones. So let's see what he does with this reboot, or see if Grenadier's just gonna sweep again. Does leave with the reboot, and it's gonna get taken up by Aqua Jet. It's not great. It's not great. Dipplin comes out in Berserker as he gets his rocks up, taking nothing from U-turn here. What a bulky mon. Gets a good chip off the Dragon Tail, and goes for a knockoff, but Sticky Hold makes Dipplin just the best knockup in the tier, getting a lot chip off with Dragon Tail. Bones does Octopop Fairy here to avoid being forced out, and gets a Calm Mind boost up. Subs up on the switch too, so could get out of hand really good. Annie here gets the rocks down, but if a few more Calm Mind comes up from Bones, it could be scary. Nope, Haze is gonna happen. Unfortunate, but Graggle's not gonna be able to heal up here. So does use this healing turn to get a switch into Berserker. And Ironhead comes out, and Samurott doesn't take too much. Opts get a flip turn. Berserker goes for a knockoff. Dipplin comes in, takes it like a champ, and gets U-turned on. But see if anything actually gets about it. Warrior comes out, takes a Giga Drain, but nothing crazy. I think Warrior is gonna win this 1v1 here. Can't do anything if he's getting Side-Nosed. Terra Blast comes out in the Cryogonal, doesn't do much, just gonna get a free recover off. Berserker gets a swing again, might just go for the U-turn right away. Yeah, he's keeping momentum up well here. This Dipplin's gonna quickly get taken out if there's not a change in tempo here. Does catch them catch Warrior with the Psychic Noise. And Destiny Bond does come out, so it just takes out this Warrior, which is really nice. It could have been real scary, honestly. And you see Executor come out on Dipplin, goes to Dragon Pulse, gets a Cryogonal, so it's going to be forced to heal up here again. Optical for Freeze Dry, but does not get much damage off it, as Cragnol's gonna get chunked real big from his Electros. And Bombsofine does come out, as it gets hit with Discharge, instantly parried. Not what you like to see from Annie, or if you're Annie. Is a Jetpack, so it is going to be Veil, which does make me think this might be a nasty plot Hame with Eviolite or something maybe. Bombsnow is going to come back out. Bones does catch it with a Flamethrower, which no more Bombsnow. 2 more turns of Veil up. Haunter does come out, instantly doubles into Dipplin. Not sure if that was the right move, to be honest, but Dipplin is going to take the Iron Head and recover up because it is just that bulky, folks. Does pop the Terra, now that Warrior is gone, hasn't have to fear that Psychic weakness. And it's going to start getting Gross up, instantly parried again by this Discharge, but it's going to heal all the way back up, which is what's really important. U-turn not doing much, it's going to get another free attack in for Dipplin. Fully parried, but it's barely living this Draco Meteor, just barely. And it's going to get these recovers off back to full health. And that does mean that Dragon Tail could be scary here if Bones isn't careful with his switching. So, it does crit on the para, it does a good chunk, but Dragon Tail is just getting some chip off here. Bones switches into Executor, good switch onto on the recover. Barely misses the KO with Dragon Tail, and Dipplin's looking real scary here now. Again, barring a crit or something, it might be impossible for Bones to break through this Dipplin without a few lucky pairs. Any more recovers. We only have 1 recover left, so actually it's not going to be impossible, but it's these teams are going to have a major disadvantage here now. And Draco Meteor does come out, grabs the kill, but everything on Bones' team is just too weak here. Cragnol's going to come out, gets a spin off, just get these rocks down, which, you know, is nice. But Obsolete Cragnol will go down, see this Berserker going for knockoff. Samurai comes out, Sacred Sword's going to kill Berserker. So, I think a Samurai was SD. Let's see. I know it was banned. I guess you should know that sooner. Sacred Sword is going to kill it here, and Executor is just going to die too. Goes for the quad resisted Aqua Jet too, just to be safe. But yeah, Dipplin really broke that hole in. Bones did have to come into this doing a 5v6 with Reboot going down turn 1, so instantly it was just on the back foot. But as soon as this Warrior went down, yeah, the Dipplin was just really didn't have a way to get taken out real good, and not really any great anti-setup on or any anti-setup on Bones' team. And we're gonna go to our first game 3 for round 2 here. Alright, game 3, it's 1-1. Annie is going to reuse that team from last time, and Bones has no shitmons anymore. Everything here is perfectly viable, so really taking off the training wheels. Do you see Realm Frost here? And it could really be scary if it's Nasty plots up. It does have Blizzard support from Annie's Abomasnow here. Maybe Haunter's also looking pretty good here, assuming it is Eviolite Nasty plot with Veil. Foul Play's not going to be doing much. Knockoff might not even be doing that much. Persian's rather weak. So, I mean, you'll see what happens. Do you see the Haunter leads as in the Persian? Both are going to opt to switch out. Bones going to have a free turn here with Rotom. Doesn't want to lose that Dipplin right away. He's not going to take that risk. Clefairy comes out on Cragnol's going to get a knockoff. Uses a Jetpack. Again, I don't think it's the biggest issue. Roar avails as Bones gets the rocks up. Diplin's coming back out. Not going to be able to do the same thing as last time. Instantly pops Terra. It might do the same thing as last time, I lied. It's taking nothing from Blizzard here. No nasty plot coming out from Bones, which would be the only way I see it breaking. It might be boots, 4 attacks, who knows. Poison coming out as well, Terra Poison coming out from Persian as well. Make sure it lives that Giga Drain, but not much is going to be done in return to Diplin. So Bones' Terra, I think, is a bit of a waste. It's not doing much. Parting Shot comes out, going to be doing a little bit less damage, which is nice, but Laertes comes out, also not doing anything to Diplin. And again, it's just not, it's already looking rather rough. Sandaconda comes out, Earthquake's not going to kill, this thing's just too bulky. It's going to 2-hit KO the Rotom still, with Giga Drain. It's not doing anything in return, just healing up all this health, and I don't want to call it here, but it's looking like it might just be over already. Parting Shot's coming out, making sure Diplin isn't just mowing everything down, but there's nothing stopping Annie from just clicking growth again. And Diplin's finally going to be taken down to the negatives here, but it's going to get some good chips still. Finally switches out, gets rid of the -1s. But it's full health, no progress was made on this Diplin from Bones, and he's going to have to deal with it again later. Megahorn is going to take out the Abomasnow, but I assume Diplin's going to come back in. No, Haunter's going to come out. And he's finally going to go for Plot. It's going to go for a Shadow Ball. It's going to 2-hit KO Sandaconda, so it's going to be forced out switch again. Does not switch. Sandaconda's just going to rest up here. Not sure what Bones is going to do to make progress now. He's going to find the switch in the Samurott on this Grognal. It's going to get a decent chunk taken out by Freeze Dry, but not the end of the world by any means. Samurott seems to be banded. I don't know if Megahorn would kill otherwise. But Diplin's going to get free switch in. Get some good chip off with Giga Drain. But it's all going to get healed back. But Annie takes advantage of healing and is going to start setting up again. Leaf Storm isn't doing much here. Even at +2, it's not going to be doing it. And Dragon Tail has to come out here, or is going to be forced out. Yeah, good Dragon Tail there. And Diplin's setting up and gets the rocks up. I don't think that's what you want to be doing here when there's Diplin setting up. Another Leaf Storm. I think that is Bones' only hope, is getting Leaf Storm boosts, but that's going to be relying on a misplay, which is never what you want to happen, because if Annie plays this right, I think that, again, this Diplin's just going to take this game here. Heals up as Diplin gets to +4, +5, and yep, going to see a +6 in both attack stats. Knockout comes out, doesn't do anything. Sticky Hold is going to make sure it stays bulky. Going for growth again. Don't know if there's a reason or what. Yeah, takes out Clefairy Giga Drain. Parting Shot's going to be taking it down from +6 to +5, but you're still a +5 Diplin against something that doesn't really have good resistance for grass anymore. Yeah, Foul Play does a lot actually with all these boosts, but it's just not doing enough still. Yeah, and Diplin's just going to be able to click Giga Drain from here. Man, it's going to be the set for Annie. Bones here did not have a good matchup in the Diplin. Just in general. And that's something you gotta account for in the builder, is just anti-setup. Because Diplin is a very threatening mon. Not only in SU, but in ZU too, it does the same shenanigans here. And just after Terra, no psychic move. You have Sandaconda, but it's not going to grab the kill. It's going to get KO'd back. Nothing could have really been done here. Persian was pretty much the only counterplay. Had to taunt this thing before it could get going, but just unfortunate, especially after Terra. But that's going to be a set for Annie. Okay, next set we have here is going to be Pengu versus Seed. Two solid teams here. You see Sceptile Mirror, which I don't think we've seen much Sceptile at all, just in general for this tournament. And I'd see a Cloth come out. Could be Anger Shell, could be Regenerator. We'll have to see. It's fun to see a Cloth either way. And I mean, we have Spikes in presumably on Wishcash. I mean, I think that's the only reason you use Wishcash is Spikes. With Hunters, the spin blocker might be a little hard to keep him up, but we'll see. It should be a good game, in all honesty. I am excited. See the Weird Ear lead into Persian A. It's going to be forced out. Persian A is going to get free knockoff. Might probably stop, but knockoff on a Hitmonchan's leftovers, not the biggest deal in the world. Is Thunderwave, so it's going to be unfortunate Thunderwave off the Hitmonchan. Instantly gets parried too. Opts to stay in at -1 and parry, it's not going to do much. Knockoff does come off onto Wishcash for its leftovers, which is going to come down, cut down its longevity a good bit. The rocks do go up, which is nice. Is forced out by True Freeze Dry. Kamala comes in, takes it like a champ. Might just get a free U-turn off here. And it goes for a Rapid Spin. Knockoff off this Knuckle Stack is really good. Knuckle Stack's Light is very important for it, I feel. Wish comes out. Salt here is going to be doing a good chunk though. Every turn. Goes for Protect, his Knuckle Stack also heals back up, but I think either way, yeah, if he doesn't get a good chunk on this, a good chunk off of Knuckle Stack here, even though Light's huge. And Body Press finally comes out and does kill this thing. A miss from Hunter's Focus Blast is very unfortunate. Gambling Man, absolutely stay in on Knuckle Stack there from Bango. Focus Blast comes out, gets a drop off. I've seen that very often, but it's not going to be happening. They're not going to be doing much. I don't think Hunter's still going to break through. And gets a Will-O-Wisp off of Articuno. Not the biggest thing ever, but Hex has come out as Weird comes in. Terraless is a great chunk in the version. That's really unfortunate. You don't like Persian game that low with no recovery. Does get a good chunk off this Hitmonchan, and if I play back in a Hunter, another full paralysis off of Hitmonchan. So not the greatest luck on Pengu's end. Another Hex in the Weird Ear, as Weird Ear's just gonna be able to swing again. Not really anything that could take it out onto well. Psyshock. I go to Wishcash. Doesn't stay in for the kill on Wishcash here. Rotom's gonna click Shadow Ball for free now. Claw finally does come out. With how it's in plate, it might be Anger Shell here. 2 Stone Edges do kill it. Kill Knuckle Stack here, which for a very bulky mon is not the... Okay. Cloth does come out on this Rotom. With how Seed's been playing it, it might be Anger Shell. Stone Edge comes out, does over half to Knuckle Stack here. I'm not sure if it's because of it not being Eagerlight, or it could be just like a choice bank Cloth. That'd be very fun to see. Weird Ear comes out, gets Intimidated off. Opts to save it. We're gonna see if this Cloth is Regenerator or not. Weird Ear seems to be Specs. It's switching out a lot when it has answers pretty much everything. And Hex does do a good chunk of Articuno, not the most, but just respectful damage. Roost is all off, Cloth comes in for free. This is going to be Regenerated Cloth, so it could just be AV. Crits the Hitmonchan, which is unfortunate. I don't know if it would have killed otherwise, but this Cloth is putting in a lot of work here. Kills the Weird Ear, and it's quickly looking rough. Sceptile finally does come out. Hopefully it's not physical. It is physical, but doesn't take too much from Stone Edge here. It could kill, depends on if it wins the speed tie. Crit kills Haunter, I think it killed either way at +2. Depends on if it wins the speed tie with Seed Sceptile here. It does, and it gets the kill. That is very unfortunate. Cloth genuinely might have just won from there, depending on how it lived. But another Leaf is going to come out. That's going to be a game from Pingu. This weird year was rough to check for Seed. Specs was tearing a hole in it pretty rough. Didn't seem to get any of the switches right on Seed's end. Just not a skill thing, but like just unfortunate. And losing the speed tie here on Sceptile, depending on how Cloth was invested, I think he might have been able to kill it, kill Articuno and Rotom. So yeah, I think this game really was up to a speed tie. So and Pengu won that speed tie, so game one's gonna go to Pengu. All right, game two here from Pengu we have. I think this is a sample we saw earlier as well. The HO, just everything that's set up. And Seed here bringing a bulkier team with Zebstrika. Now, I think Zebstrika is going to be really good here, in all honesty, because it's not the best mon. It's not as good as any of our other electrics, but it does have one thing is that it's faster than everything in the tier, which is going to be very useful here. And it does have ground coverage for Lycanroc and Alolan Raichu. I think this could be a Zebstrika game if Seed to play this well. But other than that, really slower paced team, which could be a rough matchup in the Pengu here. Do you see Berserker come out? Lycanroc gets its rocks up. See Instant Substrika come out. Gets an advantage with the Volt Switch. Is Life Orb, so it's going to be doing some good damage if it gets the turns right. Swallow protects. Raichu's gonna get free Nasty Plot. That's really not great. Berserker comes out, eats a Psyduck, eats a Thunderbolt, dies instantly. Not great special events. Do you see Substrika come out? Like I said, it's gonna be able to get something good here. Hopefully, barely misses out in the kill with high horsepower. Terra gets back up and instantly it's not looking great. Arboliva comes out. I'm not sure it's going to be living too much though. Protect does block this Psyshock, but barely misses out on the kill. Hyper Voice or Giga Drain, sorry, is going to take it out, but might be free reign for something like a Houndoom to come out. Nasty Plant, yeah. Misses Fire Blast on the Cryogonal. This is a shame. Gets the Rapid Spin off. Houndoom hopefully clicks Fire Blast again. No, it does click Nasty Plot. But, I mean, nothing Fraggle's going to be able to do in the long term. Misses another Fire Blast. Fire Blast finally hits. Does get the burn off, which is some recollection for all the misses. But is just going to get a chip here with Freeze Dry. Does get the unlucky freeze. Instantly thaws because of Fire Blast though, so that's nice. Swallow's going to come out. As Houndoom Nasty Plots could be EQ. No, it's going to be Gunk Shot. It's going to kill. That's a strong Swallow. Samurott comes out. Liquidation's not doing much. It's going to have to Swords Dance to do anything here. Protect on Swallow. As the Swords Dance does come out, these Protects have not been too great. I think just seeing this team and protecting is always a risk with all this setup. But and he's protecting not for much either way, but Liquidation didn't even take out this Arboliva. And at that point, it's looking real rough. Weirder does come out, it's the boost to its defense and the drop on its Intimidate. But Star Power missing out in the KO, doesn't get any boots, but Liquidation's gonna kill, and yeah, it's gonna be over from there. Seed, I do think Seed just had a rough matchup with a slower, bulkier team, but it also just a lot of protects coming out from Seed here when this has so much setup. I think that's always a risk, and I did not pay off this time. Terra Fairy did save Raichu from the Zebstrika, which was Seed's pretty much only way of dealing with these faster threats. And that's just really unfortunate. I think if that didn't happen, or if Seed saw the Terra come out, then it would have been a lot easier for him to relieve himself from all these boosts. But that's going to be game 2 going to Pengu and the set. We have Michael Jordan versus Doom Breloom, which is a very exciting set. Two very prominent SU players. Be very, very fun to see. See, pretty much a pretty standard team coming out. I think we saw a victory bell from Doom last time, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong. And we got pretty much just pure HO from Michael Jordan here. Got the Aurora Veil. We have lost setup mons. Vivillon could be scary with the Veil up, and you can never really set rocks all too well, which leads me to believe this Vivillon might be a different item. Just because of Hattrem, there's a deterrent from them being even be up in the first place. And assuming this Hitmonchan still has Rapid Spin in case it goes wrong. But Doom doesn't seem to have any anti-setup here. It could have Clear Smog on Magmortar, but that's about it. And that doesn't help against every mon here, so we'll see how it goes. Magmortar leading Hattrem. Hattrem gonna get free Nuzzle off. Does block it with the Rotom here. Bombsnow does switch in, takes his Volt Switch. It's going to be instantly forced out by a Magmortar, yeah. Not great at taking fire moves, aside from Houndoom, but Knockoff does take this Lycanroc's Life Orb. It's not great, you do really want that extra power boost. And Vivillon comes in on a Defog. See if maybe we see Quiver Dance. No, Terra Steel is going to get popped to take this Hurricane. And a crit knockoff is almost going to take Vivillon out. Opts to save it, switches Hitmonchan in on this Mach Punch. But another knockoff comes out, takes off this Rocky Helmet. And that's going to be a lot of damage on this Big Mouth here. Strength Set does come out. It's not going to get much because of Hattrem, but it's better than nothing. Mystical Fire does hit. Rotom gets a weak Volt Switch off, but a lot of Mystical Fires coming out. I was going to take advantage of this Clefairy coming in, and it's going to get its Veil off finally. Yeah, Veil finally does come out. Sacks Vivillon finally. It didn't do anything, what a shame. And we see Lycanroc come out, and it could be scary. We see no way for Magmortar to take it out really easily. Instantly goes for this close combat onto Girder, which is nice. And even at -1 with this Veil up, it's gonna do a lot. Sailor comes out, just get a little bit more chip damage. Rocks up on both sides of the field, which is what I think Michael Jordan wanted. And so far, it's looking not great for MJ here. He hasn't really been able to break any holes in. Hattrem gets knocked. Shouldn't be the biggest deal, honestly. MJ's just clicking Giga Drains, not doing much. Yeah, this Clefairy is gonna be able to take it out. Finally goes for the Healing Wish, as they just slap each other lightly. And Hitmonchan gets back up to full, which could be very rough here. Terra Fairy gets popped as the Sword Dance comes out. So +2 is gonna live this T-Bolt. Knockoff comes out, and instantly it's looking a lot more rough for Doom Breloom here. Magmortar is gonna have to live no Mach Punch on Hitmonchan actually. So yeah, he's gonna revenge every time. As Houndoom gets a Dark Pulse off. Scorching Sands barely misses out on the kill. So it's gonna be switched out. I think this is basically a loss for MJ. There's no way for him to break through his Magmortar anymore. Yeah, Moonblast comes out. A Bombsnow's not gonna be able to do meaningful damage to anything. Giga Drain is gonna be clicked until this Clefairy goes down. In case something happens, yeah. Forfeit comes out. Nothing was good. Just able to get good traction going on MJ's side. We had just a lot of fast, or not? Yeah, I guess a lot of fast mons. With Lycanroc and Magmortar. And I think this Rotom was a Scarf? Yeah, it was Scarf. So just a lot of mons that did a lot of damage, didn't really give free turns. And I think Doom did play that pretty well. Even with a few crits here and there, but like, I don't think that changed the battle at all. Alright, game 2, we have full Trick Room coming out from Doom Breloom here. Hard Trick Room. This is Trick Room. I'm not going to be wrong this time. This is Trick Room. And Michael Jordan using the best 6 mons of the tier. I believe this is the sample he has up. I think he has a few. But, Yeah, everything gets pretty running through by Trick Room. This Crabominable, actually from Doom here, could be pretty scary. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's not very nice. Knockoff comes out as Colbert Berry is Ian from Dust Noir. Let's see. MJ Ops gets the rocks up and switches out. Persian's gonna wall this thing for days. It's gonna be... Oh no, I lied. Leech Life comes out and it's gonna do a lot of damage actually. Another knockoff, just gonna be trading damage here. A little bit of chip, this Leech Life is barely keeping up. And Foul Play does finally come out and kill this Dust Noir in this last turn Trick Room. And no taunt on this Persian, so another Trick Room is gonna be able to come up. As instantly goes for Misty Explosion, blocks this trick, so he knows what he's going to be clicking now. But Crabominable does get turned in, and this could be very rough. Crabominable hits really hard, and it's going to get these speed drops from Ice Hammer. Switches out from Persian. Opts to go for a Camerupt. Eruption does come out, does about half the Electros, which is a lot to AV. Specs Eruption is now not doing much. No specs, half health. I think this Camerupt's ready to go down now. Opts to save it. As it takes a Stone Edge, not great. Gets another Stone Edge miss, so he's going to have another chance to get this Trick Room up. Healing Rush comes out, so his Camerupt's going to have another chance at firing off these Eruptions, which is really nice. Eruption's gonna kill, and MJ's just trying to pivot out. Yeah, catches the Earth Power with Rotom, just wasting these Trick Room turns. Everyone's gonna be important here. Eruption barely misses out in the KO for Lycanroc here, and we have one more Trick Room on up, which I think could do it, honestly. Trick Room does come up. Let's see what happens here. Leaf Storm. Gets a lot of damage off of Hitmonchan. Lucy Crown will come out again. If it's not banded, it should be able to switch just fine. Berserker comes out. Terra Ice Hammer barely misses out on the KO. That's really unfortunate. It must be banded if it's not switching to Drain Punch, which is unfortunate. And yeah, Rocks. It's gonna take it down to 1% and not enough Trick Room turns to take out this Lycanroc. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's just Camerupt's bad. I'm sorry. I think it was really not a great showing for Camerupt. It did 50 to an AV Electros, which is a lot for an AV Electros, but it just didn't do enough in the turns it needed. And Crabominable had a good showing, but Band was barely unable to take out this Berserker here, but definitely scary game for MJ, I think. And yeah, I was gonna go to a game 2-1-1 or game 3-1-1. Okay, game 3. We have two standard looking teams, no Trick Room, no baloney, no malarkey. And it's gonna be just a pretty standard 6 from Doom here. Special bulk is kind of lacking unless this Magmortar's AV, which would help out quite a bit. But other than that, Lurantis is your only real special bulk. Yeah, so Houndoom from MJ here could bust some holes in pretty easily if played correctly. Other than that, it was pretty standard theme. I think we've seen the core of Victreebel and Poliwrath before, and I think it's performed rather well. And Wyrdeer here also can take games if it is agility. So let's see if Wyrdeer swoops again. That would be funny. Alright, Knockout comes out on Victreebel, gets rid of its Rocky Helmet really soon, which is not great, in all honesty. Sludge Bomb chunks Persian for a little bit under half. No Poison Proc, which is great because that would have been honestly pretty disastrous. Strength Sap's going to heal Victreebel all the way back up to full, even if this isn't a physically attacking mon. Does read the Thunderbolts to get Poliwrath on the switch. So Drain Punch heals a good bit back. Leftovers basically back to full. as Lurantis gets completely stuffed by Victory Bell here. And it's going to be another free Sludge Bomb from MJ. Does pop the Terra Dragon. I don't think that's going to be enough to break this Victory Bell though. No, honestly, I think this might have been a waste of a Terra. Is Encore. It's going to Encore back into Synthesis, so... Yeah, it's going to get another free Sludge Bomb. No Poison procs. It's not what you like to see. Fire Blast misses, but not the biggest deal in the world. Since Poliwrath did come in. Knockoff on Lurantis, gets rid of its boots. No Hazard Drop, so not the biggest deal in the world again. Superpower comes out in the Victory Bell, and this Lurantis really can't stay on Victory Bell, but yeah, finally gets the poison off, so it's really bad for Doom. And goes for Strength Step. I'm gonna get an attack boost from that, but like I said, Superpower's not doing anything. Goes for Synthesis, and it's gonna be forced out, or else it's gonna be Encored. Reads the switch and goes for another Sludge Bomb. No poisons here. MJ's been rather unlucky with the amount of poison procs from Sludge Bomb, but even Raichu doesn't get the kill, and Victory Bell lives to see another day. And Persian comes out as it gets chipped by a Rocky Helmet and taken out by an Earthquake. Not too much, not a great value from a Persian here. Lurantis opts to go for a Leaf Storm, which actually could take out Victory Bell here if it was faster, but it's just not doing... It just doesn't have the move pool to do this. And gets Encored into Superpower, so Rotom's going to have a free switch here actually. So yeah, Rotom does come in, does Doom click Superpower again, he does. I think we're about out of Superpower PP, yeah, we only have one more left. And Shadow Ball comes out. Barely missed out on the kill, but Sandaconda is not going to be able to take it out. Could be Coil Set. I'm seeing as that Rock Blast hit 5 times, Coil loaded dice with Scale Shot. That'd be pretty fun, but don't see it get to do anything. Since this comes out, Victory Bell is just stuffing everything here. Yeah, he has no poison switch in. Doom has no poison switch in, and it's just getting a little out of hand here. Houndoom comes out, Dark Pulses, last Superpower gets the attack boost, but Victory Bell really walls this now with his Quad Poison or Quad Grass Resist. Shadow Ball finishes Lurantis off finally, and I mean, not much that can be done from Doom here. He has no way to make good progress. Celerock comes out, does very little damage. Earthquake's a free click, kills Magmortar, and Lycanroc going to suffer for the same fate. That's going to be the set for MJ here. I think for Doom to win this, I think he needed to get a bit more traction out of his Magmortar here. It have Thunderbolt, so it would have been able to break past a chipped Poliwrath at some point. But I think he stayed in on Victory Bell with Lurantis for way too long. I think he just wasted way too many turns doing that. But I understand he didn't really have the freedom to switch because the Poison proc plus Sludge Bomb damage would have been really bad on anyone. But it's going to be the set for Michael Jordan. It's going to be a real dominant last game. Okay, last set for round 2. And it's going to be Spice vs. Oof High XD. And we see some Psychic terrain coming out from Oof here. With Wyrdeer and Raichu Alola being the 2 main prominent abusers here. Not sure if Samura or anyone else, any other of these guys are going to be running a Psychic Seed. I think Wyrdeer will be, absolutely. But Raichu is going to be really fast, really threatening here actually. No Electric plus Psychic resist here. Rotom is neutral Psychic, but he's not going to be taking a lot, so it could be real scary here for Spice. But not impossible to play around by any means. So, let's get into it. Victory Bell and Hitmonchan's good lead on Spice. Gonna get a free knockoff. Clear Amulet, Wonder what that's particularly for. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Another knockoff takes off Rocky Helmet. Again, like I said last time, not exactly great, not the biggest deal. Leaf Storm chunks Indeedee for half. Great damage there, but is Psychic Seed Warrior there, as I suspected. Agility comes out, and Calm Mind's up. It's going to be a lot of boosts really quickly, but Berserker, that might be banded, and I'm pausing really quick. We do see in the chat that we've meant to click Terra, but it did not come out. So unfortunate misclick there. Terrifier, they say. So Terrifier would absolutely live that. And I think Spice would have been in a real predicament actually. But oh well, yeah, sometimes that just happens. Persian's also a Psychic Seed. Instantly U-turns out though. U-turn with Psychic Seed. I'm not sure if that is a great use, but Persian's item doesn't really matter all too much, to be fair. Is a Calm Mind Clef. You don't see that too much these days, but Calm Mind Clef does come out. And he tricks the Choice Scarf off, so it's going to be locked into Moonlight here. Free turn for Oof to switch out into whoever. See both Samurats come out. Spice goes for a split turn. Oof's is probably SD, yeah. SD comes out. I'm not sure if it's going to be killing with Mega Horn here. Victory Bell's actually faster. It's a really fast Victory Bell. A really slow Samurai, one of the two. But it's looking rough here for Oof. 2 mons down to Spicy 0. Do see a Terra get popped. It is expanding force, but so Terra didn't prevent anything there, but it's not doing too much damage, not as much as you need to see. Shadow Ball gets the drop. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Foul Play on Clefairy doesn't do anything. T-Wave also under the Clefairy as you let Persian go down there. But no more Fairy switching from Oof here either, so gotta consider that as well. Slice Shock's doing a lot there. No Eevee like Clefairy. And Oof might just let Indeedee go down here. He really only has one more attempt at this anyways. So you see Hitmonchan come out, no Psychic Seed, like we saw earlier. Swords Dance comes out. It is Strength Sap, but Hitmonchan can outboost it if it really needs to, but early Sludge Bomb Poison is going to make sure that Hitmonchan isn't going to be doing that anytime soon. Another Sludge Bomb. This is just a fact Victory Bell. It's a very fast Victory Bell. Raichu comes out. It's going to get completely stuffed by Samurai here, yeah, I forgot its name for a minute. Thunderbolt gets clicked, presumably Specs if it's still clicking Thunderbolt. Yeah, Specs. Does let Raichu click a Warring Voice, but I don't think anything's gonna happen out of that, yeah. This Scarf Rotom's gonna be able to click Volt Switch. And very unfortunate. I think Weirdier could have absolutely taken that game if Oof clicked Terra. But Psychic Terrain... What are my thoughts on Psychic Terrain? I honestly don't know. But it just didn't perform here. Absolutely. I think Spice played this well too. But I mean, this Alolan Raichu didn't get to really do anything. Not Berserker. Weirdier didn't get to do anything. I feel like those are two main claims for Psychic Terrain, which was really unfortunate here. Alright, game 2. Going to see Spike's team come out from Spice. We've seen a lot of Alolan and Executor today. So interesting. But a lot of Rotom. Do you see double Tauroses? Or Tauroses. We haven't seen a lot of Tauros this round at all, actually. But Spike's team come out from Spice. Pretty standard looking stuff. Honestly, not gonna say anything. Fast team. Tauros are fast. Birds are fast. Realms are fast. Oof here has a very offensive team. With Lycanroc and everything here. Morpeko, I think it's the first Morpeko we've seen today. It's going to be the Rapid Spinner here. Could be banned. I'm not too sure. I've used banned Rapid Spin before. It's okay. But see another Vivillon. And see if Oof's going to get a sweep here. I think that's going to be the main win con. Let's see. See Lycanroc leading the Wishcast. Just going to exchange rocks like a fine gentleman. Close Combat's doing nothing. That did absolutely nothing. As Ice Beam is going to be clicked. Try to cover Vivillon switch, I assume. Very close combat, just gonna let Lycanroc go down here. Earthquake finally takes it out. And Oof's gonna get the switch for... Yeah, instantly goes to Vivillon. Quiver Dance comes out. Ice Beam's gonna get clicked. Still does a good chunk, even at +1 defense. Excuse me, is Giga Drain. So, take it out, gets healed back to full. Misses Hurricane, even with Comp Allies, but Terra does come out. 2 misses here, nothing happened this turn. Still clicking Hurricane. As Draco Meteor kills it, I think Oof could have absolutely clicked another Quiver Dance there, maybe lived, but we'll never know. Orbeez comes out, takes out Exeggutor, gets a speed boost. Hitmonchan's gonna force it out though, so that speed boost is gonna get wasted. Unfortunate. Could be scary if this Hitmonchan goes down though. Switches into Houndoom, just sacks it pretty much. I mean, nothing else was ever gonna happen there really. Hitmonchan is still outspent by Haunter here, but is gonna get killed. Takes knockout. Takes out the knockoff. And it was Scarf, so that's why it was faster. And Hitmonchan's gonna clean up here. Wow, yeah. Terra Stellar, not gonna do anything. Yeah, it's game 2, set for Spice. Oof's team just lost into Hitmonchan, to be honest. Like, 2 fighting resists, and they're not particularly bulky ones. Had to sack the Houndoom really early just to get Haunter in. Like, for weak mons in the fighters, when Hitmonchan has been such a prominent mon, not only in this turn, but just in general. And yeah, it's going to be unfortunate. And I think that's the last one of round 2. Okay, week 3. That was the last round, week 2, but this is week 3. There was only 1 round played, or 1 set played, and it was this. So we're just going to cover week 3 really quick. Because it was mostly a free round. And so might as well cover this. No point to give this another video. It's going to be Incognition versus Jesus GP. I think we already saw this team. It must be a sample then. And another HO. I think this is the same team. I think these are both samples. I'm not going to check right now, but yeah, we've already seen both these teams. HO team coming out. Another Vivillon, which is a lot so far. See a Rotom into Hattrem. Opts to stay on the Hattrem. Maybe Nuzzle comes out. No, Psychic hits this weird ear. Tera Blast does come out. I think it's Specs, if you remember last time. Does get the power off, which is actually really nice. Incognition stitches Samurott in. It's gonna take a lot of damage. I don't know if that's really the play there. As Rotom comes out, Ops just takes the damage with Aqua Jet, which is a lot of damage. So, Samurott did get a lot of value. Not a lot, but a good chunk of value there. Knuckle Stacks, which is instantly pops to Terra as Incognition Swords dances. And I think we've seen this before, but Knuckle Stack's going to take a lot of damage here still. Definitely going to be forced to switch out. Yeah, it goes for a knockoff, takes off its Eviolite as it clicks recover, but now it's not taking these drain punches. Yeah, another one comes out, back up to full. Body Press does a good chunk, but just not enough to warrant staying in here. Clicks knockoff just to get the kill and maybe catch a Rotom on the switch. Rotom comes out, it's going to force out Hitmonchan, opts to save it for later, which I think is a good play. Switches on Houndoom. Mach Punch Hitmonchan, assumably, comes in very confidently. And does take it out. Terra goes on Lycanroc to avoid the Mach Punch. Goes for a Swords Dance, so this is... player, no, CC takes it out just fine. I think that's going to be... no, I forgot, we have Sceptile. Sceptile's also faster. So it's going to force it out, but no Hitmonchan is nice. Is physical, so it's probably carrying Rock Tomb for a Rock Slide, yep. Nothing Hitmonchan or Lycanroc can really do here. Lycanroc comes out, it might be able to live. Actually, Jesus switches out, so threatened by that. Yeah, Stone Edge gonna kill. And yeah, Sceptile come back in, grab its kill with Leaf Blade. Is Life Form, so I think that was a big solid kill, yeah. And first game's gonna go to Jesus. Just not a great matchup for Incognition, I feel. like Vivillon was rarely threatened here, and we just have a lot of fast mons to make sure Incognition couldn't really breathe. Yeah, Septal Hadir here did do a lot of work at just making sure these guys didn't get out of hand. So, first game goes to Jesus. Okay, game 2. We see the 6 again. I believe Spice brought it just last set. So, Incognition got this team from somewhere. Maybe Spice handed it to him personally. Though they are managing for a team tournament currently. And Jesus here is bringing a very bulky offense. I'd say maybe even borderline semi-stall. With Samurott being your only breaker. I'm not sure how I feel about stall with no other hazards but rocks, but so we'll just have to see how it goes. Actually, no, I lied. Diplin's gonna be able to make progress as well. So, not the most passive team ever, but I think my point still stands. I think you might ideally want another hazard setter. Seeing Electrox leading Clefairy gets his rocks up as Clefairy gets knocked off, which I think is rather detrimental for Clefairy. He doesn't have the stats to do anything. It's taking a big chunk from Discharge still. Does get the instant para. Jesus switches out in the crowd, and we're going to get these rocks off. As Clefairy heals. Yeah, Repson does get the rocks off. Going to go for a knockoff, presumably? Nope, he's going to get fully paralyzed. Samurott gets a free switch in. There's another rock. Another set of rocks comes up. Hopefully isn't Swords Dance. It is Swords Dance, but Victory Bell is going to force it out every time. As goes for a Strength Sap, interestingly enough. Diplin's gonna, Jesus gonna pivot from Diplin, gonna go Cryogonal, no Poison Proc, which is good for Jesus here. Freeze Dry is coming out, but Cruise Cryogonal is just keeping rocks off very, very solidly. Another set of rocks comes up, instantly doubles into Electros, hoping for a switch here. Yeah, it does switch into Victory Bell. Instant double into Hitmonchan here, takes a knockoff. Loses its boots, but not the biggest deal, we only have rocks. And Hitmonchan's getting a knockoff on this Dodge Bun, which is really good actually. I think Dodge Bun really does like its leftovers. Stomping Tantrum comes out, tickles Victory Bell as Victory Bell gets a free Sludge Bomb here. Hopefully a Poison Proc, if you're in Cognition, does get the Poison Proc. And Cryogonal is now significantly less bulky here, and Jesus doesn't necessarily love it. This tricked the Scarf onto Cryogonal, so it's not going to be able to spin or recover anymore. So yeah, Cryogonal's not going to do his job at all. Does basically nothing. A little under a quarter Samurott, which is kind of pathetic to be honest, from Cryogonal. And flip turns off from Diplin. Victory Bell's going to be able to click Sludge Bomb here, but no, Terra is actually going to come out. Terra Poison as a Growth comes out. Hopefully his Victory Bell isn't Encore. It is not. So it is going to be able to just sit here and be fat. Incognition goes for a knockoff, but as we saw, Sticky Hold Diplin is very, very annoying. Goes for a trick again on to Diplin, but Sticky Hold is just making sure. Maybe we're clicking without thinking really, but Dragon Tail comes out. It's just gonna be getting chip damage. Just Diplin, as we saw again, like it doesn't have a great way to be forced out. Iron Hit comes out. I think this Diplin might just win, honestly. There's no way for Incognition to break it without a crit or a flinch here from Berserker. He's gonna need both. Gets the flinch. Gets another flinch, maybe? Nope, doesn't. Yeah, we're just gonna click an Iron Hit here until something happens. So you're for Incognition, that's what you're hoping for. It's not honorable, but you know, you gotta do it to get it done. Jesus actually switches out Diplin, doesn't want to lose it quite yet. Iron Head does a good chunk on Berserker here. Is Razor Shell. I don't know why. Don't know why he'd be Razor Shell. Gets a lot of damage of Rocky Helmet, switches out Electros. And Electros going to get some momentum here. Probably going to go back into Diplin. Yep. Back into Diplin. Do the same trade. We're going to get a Recover off so it can actually take care of this Berserker without worrying about dying. Yes, finally breaks through flinches and is able to finish off Berserker while still being relatively healthy. Samurott comes out, pops a Terra Dragon. It is a special Samurott, so this is actually going to be able to break through if he gets a good rolls here. It does, and Diplin does go down here, but it did break a good chunk into the Incognition's team here. Switches out Samurott here. I think not confident in it killing. Clefairy tanks his Dragon Tail. And Clefairy surprisingly is doing like a good chunk here, even with its EV Light being knocked off so early. It's been putting in some work. It's been barely living everything. Yeah, it takes out this Cryogonal with Moonblast, or with Poison Chip and Moonblast and Rocks, but barely doing enough. Yeah, Clefairy's doing a good chunk here. Gets the heal off finally. Knuckle Stack can't even really threaten it out with Salt Cure thanks to Magic Guard. And something's gonna start Calm Minding up as Clefairy is all of a sudden looking really kind of threatening. Dachshund isn't doing much here. I gets the Wish off, but if it starts firing off Moonblasts or Moonlights, Moonlights, it's gonna be able to heal back up. But Para might not want that to happen today. Luckily, does get the Moonlight before Dachshund takes it out. It's back up to full. Incognition's, I think, about ready to start firing off with some Moonblasts here. Hopefully, no full Para. Does get the full Para, which is really unfortunate. It would have taken out Electros very prominently right there. Back into Dachshund. If you're Jesus here, I think you try to heal your team back up while you have this gamble of Para. Another Slime Tantrum, just clicking. Clefairy's getting a lot of boosts here, which could be very scary. Gets a crit, doesn't do much. One more Moonlight. How many more Moonlights we got? We got 3 more Moonlights, so definitely not the end of the world. Salt Cure comes out. It's Magic Guard, not going to do anything. And just going to click Salt Cure over and over again. Incognition's going for the +6. I think, yeah, if going to finally start clicking some Moonblasts. Clicks Protect, just try to stall out some PP. Goes for another Calm Mind because you actually do need +6 to start breaking the Knuckle Stack here. I think if you're Jesus here, I think you could have brought out Samurott a good while ago. How low was the Samurott? 38. I guess you would die, but definitely more ideal than this. The Clefairy actually might just take the game here. I might be calling it too soon, but it's, I mean, it's not going down. Yeah, 56. And I'm just gonna keep clicking Moonblasts. Gets a special attack drop, not a big deal, but and can click Stealth Rock just to make sure he's not wasting PP on these Protect turns. Finally gets a crit to break through his Knuckle Stack. Samurott does come out, and Razor Shell's not gonna kill, probably. Yeah, barely misses out on the kill. I think we gets the Para though. It's unfortunate for Incognition, but I think Samurott could have done that a good while ago while it was still low. As it's gonna die now to Victreebel, Rocky Helmet. Yeah, you only have Dachshund here. It's not the greatest one at making progress. Electros here does good damage, but it's gonna be heal fodder for Victreebel. U-turns into Dachshund. It's gonna be a free Sludge Bomb. Dachshund's never killing this Victreebel ever. Some Protect. Just dragging out this game, delaying the inevitable. Sludge Bomb comes out. Barely misses out on the kill, surprisingly, but Poison Proc does get it down. Yeah, Electros with no way to heal himself is just fodder. Let's see a forfeit here. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't see a Clefairy sweep, but you know, that happens. Para's a balance mechanic. I think Jesus let that Clefairy get way too much out of hand. I think, like I said, I think Samurott could have come out and ended that a good while ago. And Incognition just played solid. Just played solid. You know what to do. He clicked the right moves. I think it's 1-1 now. Alright, so we're going to see a game 3. It's going to be the exact same team from Jesus, and we see another reuse here from Incognition. I think Spice also didn't use this team. And, I mean, if you're going to take teams from anybody, you might as well be Spice, huh? So, see what happens. You see Whiscash leading Electros. Could be Giga Drain, would be very unfortunate. It's not Giga Drain. So let's get the U-turn off as Whiscash might get some spikes up here. No, opts to switch out as definitely gets a little bit of Chip Dragon Tail. And you're gonna keep switching into Persian. Knuckle Stack does come out, going to try to get its own rocks up. Takes a knockoff though, and I don't think Knuckle Stack is too useful without its Eviolite, to be honest. Especially with something like Executor that could come in and just start clicking. But we're going to see a parting shot as Knuckle Stack maybe goes for rocks, maybe goes for Assault here. Does get rocks up as Incognition gets some spikes up, which is good. I think this is, yeah, do see an Ice Beam, big chunk into Dipplin, but does go for Giga Drain this time. Heals all of that back up. Incognition might just go for another Ice Beam, yeah, he does, as Dipplin's forced to Terra. I think we've seen the Dipplin Terra every single time it's been brought, but it's a massive Terra Hog, but you can't, it gets the job done extremely well. Party shot comes out on Dipplin as it's taunted. Giga Drain onto Hitmonchan, not doing too much at -1. Jesus opts to stay in here and just gets a lucky crit with Dragon Tail, does a lot more than Incognition was gambling for. Trick comes out onto Cryogonal, hopefully it wasn't meant for Dipplin again. And Incognition is going to let this go down? Oh no, Freeze is going to come out, my Volt Switch right there, we'll never know. But Hitmonchan comes out and threatens this Cryogonal out with a Drain Punch. And it's looking pretty rough for Incognition here. Not really any great setup sweepers to try and muscle through the difference here. Body Press catches Persian for a good chunk with no reliable way to heal. It's going to be really rough for Incognition to keep utilizing it. Taunt does come out and he's going to let it go down to this Body Press here. We'll see what you can do here. Tauros comes out. Terra Fighting. Work up. Oh goodness. Okay. This could be bad. It gets another crit. Doesn't do too much though, luckily. +1, Incognition gets his own crit with Iron Head. Not sure if that would have mattered or not. Jesus goes for the Rapid Spin. Interesting. I don't know if that was the play there. Body Slam's gonna take it out, and this Tauros looks scary. Close combat with Terra Fighting is absolutely gonna take out Electros at +1. Tauros is utilizing a Life Orb here most definitely. And Body Slam gets clicked into Knuckle Stack, but without Eviolite it's not taking these hits like you need it to. And I'm surprised Jesus didn't come in sooner with Dipplin and Dragon Tail it out. I think that would save him a lot of health there. Executor clicks Flamethrower and Draco Meteor to kill it. That's good. That's what you needed as this Dipplin to make sure it's gone, because it can really be a threatening mon. Giga Drain's still doing half, even at -2. Sacred Sword gets clicked, not gonna kill. And yep, it's gonna be game for Incognition here. This Tauros take it back is very good. Work up Tauros, you don't see it a lot, but when you do see it, it's scary, very scary mon, is with just how fast it is. I think Jesus needs to Dragon Tail it out as soon as it started being a threat. I think they would have maybe even won him the game, honestly. But without that, yeah, Incognition got so much value with this Tauros and took the set. So that is going to be game 3 and the last set of round 3 and the only set of round 3. So round 4 is a lot smaller, so it shouldn't be as long as this one either. So yeah, some good games played though. Okay, I am back. Before I end this one, I do want to go over usage stats just for the week. This is week 2 and week 3, since week 3 only had one game. And at the top we have Hitmonchan. Makes sense, it's our best removal. It's not listed as the best mon in the tier, so it being first is maybe not the most predictable thing ever. But at exactly 50% win rate, I mean, it's doing very well. I mean, when you're used as often as almost half of the game's total, I mean, 50% is really good. Probably most of these are mirror matches too. Number 2, it's going to be, we have Samurott and Rotom tied for number 2 spot, 12 games. Rotom has a really high win rate of 75 here, which I think it is ranked really highly in the VR, but I mean, it's great speed control. It's a really good typing. Ghost can be difficult to resist in this tier sometimes, especially along with Electric. I mean, it's a really good mon. Samura, with how many sets it has, I mean, 50% is good still, like I just said. Um, but we think we have a bigger variety of Samura sets. Most of them were SD or physical, but we did see like a special one from Incognition, and I think that saved the game honestly. But solid usage stats here. Nothing too crazy. Not gonna talk about every single one here. Sandaconda had a higher than average win rate. Lycanroc surprisingly had a 33% win rate here, and I think that could be because it's on a lot of sample teams that was used by players who maybe didn't know the tier exactly as well as some of these more experienced people. But I mean, that's just speculation. I think Samurai still a really good Pokemon though. We'll just have to see how it does in later weeks. Electros has a disgustingly low win rate of 28%. And this, I don't really. I mean, it's by far the lowest out of anything in the top 10, and it's. I don't particularly know why it's a good mod. I think maybe it was just that it was the same set over and over again, and that it could also be thinking of like the sample teams having a lot of Electros. I feel, but maybe Electros isn't as good as I thought. I think it's A+ right now, but yeah, if it continues to be on decline like this, it could absolutely not be. Um, could be maybe a little worse than we suspected. Swallow here with an 80% win rate at 5 uses, so not the most, like, the biggest sample, but still a good bit. I think this is easily explained by it being on the samples installed being harder to face for new players, and we're still early in the rounds. I'd expect to see Swalot's win rate fall off a bit. Victreebel also had a 100% win rate, which only used 4 times, but still notable. I think Victreebel was really solid. I think it stuffs out a lot of the stuff in the meta right now. Like we see Hitmonchan's up here, Rotom's up here, Samurot's top. These are all top 3 that Victreebel checks. Lycanroc doesn't necessarily check Lycanroc, but I mean it still does well into it. Persian's like it does really well into the meta right now. I think we could see more. Where the flip is he? More Victreebel in the future. See another one with 100% win rate is Poliwrath as well. I think that could just be players using it. I don't think Poliwrath has anything too notable here. And then here's when we get back down to like the 2s and 1 win rates. A few Pokemon I want to point out that had very low usage is Articuno. Articuno is one of the best mons in tier, and it has two uses of it. I think that's insane. It had less than stuff like Crabominable and Dachshund and Hattrem. That's insane. Carbing's another mon that should be used more. Piloswine. See any other thing? Dunsparce with a solid 100% use rate because it's the best mon ever. And I mean, down here we see just kind of your standard bad Pokemon, but I do think it is notable to note Articuno being down here and Lilligant being down here. Even something like Arboliva only being used twice, I believe, by Slade. And Spice? I'm not too sure. But these all could be wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go through it super duper um, thoroughly, but definitely something to look out for is Rotom in the near future. If it keeps putting up numbers like this, like it might be a lot better than you expected. And Electros also being rather disappointing. And I think Victreebel could get a lot of tractions. At the recording, I think round 5 is about over, so um, I think we could just easily see how much it benefits ahead. I mean, could be interesting, yeah. But yeah, week 4 next, yeah. I don't think there's many matches, so it shouldn't be 2 hours long, like always. But alright, bye.